Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Card Watch, the show where I watch cards as they come out. Someone mentioned to me in my Twitch streams forever ago that they would like a show or something in the style of where I react to new cards that get announced. It just so happens here, the Discord channel for the official One Piece trading card game. This is where a lot of cards get announced. So I'm going to do a new show where I come here maybe weekly and go through all the cards that got announced in the week. And we're going to start off here with a new leader, actually. There's two new leaders to go over, and I would like to do a specific video for those leaders. But for now, I'm just going to go over them in Card Watch. First up, we have Marshall D. Teach. It's going to be coming out with OP09. This guy's definitely going to be getting his own video for me. Black Leader, 5 life, 5,000 power, special attack, 4 Emperors, Blackbeard Pirates. So he has a passive ability that means your on-play abilities don't activate. So any on-play abilities you have from cards don't work on this leader. So that's just a natural nerf. But activate main, you may trash 1 card from your hand, which is usually a pretty good thing to mull cards in black. Until your opponent's next turn, your opponent on-play abilities don't activate, which is actually pretty freaking huge. It's very good against Red Purple Law, Moria, all of these leaders that have been really getting away with a lot of really cheap on-play effects. I think Blackbeard is the definition of anti-meta. We're going to go over a few builds ideas for him in a future video, but right now this is just kind of like a blind reaction, going over what we think about these guys. I think just because he shuts off a lot of the leaders right now that are taking over the game, he will probably find a pretty weird spot in the meta. People will definitely learn him, and I think at the start of OP09 he'll be huge because he shuts off Moria and Law. Red Purple Law will probably still be reigning free in OP08, so he'll see a lot of play early on because of that. But as the meta evolves around playing around him, I think we'll see a little bit less of him. It depends on the Blackbeard Pirate support, really, honestly, because he has 4 Emperors and Blackbeard Pirates. Blackbeard Pirates, we know that's going to be a new type of card we get, so the support from that's going to have to be kind of crazy, I think, to make it stand true long-term in the meta. We'll see, though. So we move on to Marco. It's a blue character. 4 cost, 6,000 power, Whitebeard Pirates. The 1 KO'd, you may put this character into your character card into your hand. So it's just kind of a good sticky option for the Marco coming out in OP08. So this is actually going to be P071. I don't know if we'll see too much use on him. I'm not sure, but it seems interesting. We'll move on for now. We have Audio. I think this is a green character, Odyssey, so it's an Odyssey character. Wink wink, we'll be going over a few more of those, which, by the way, I need to play again. I started Odyssey and I did not hate it. I knew it was kind of mixed with people, but I thought Odyssey was pretty fun. I'm a big fan of turn-based RPGs. I actually co-host a Final Fantasy podcast, so they're my favorite games. So our One Piece RPG would be awesome. It just felt a little basic in nature to me. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. 4 cost, 5,000 power, ranged. Is that a new type? No, surely not. I just never pay attention to the attacking types, honestly. If you have 2 or more Odyssey type characters, this character gains plus 1,000 power, but they need to be rested. So this seems pretty good because you're going to be flooding board in green naturally. So being able to play down and just getting a 6k natural 4 cost 6k when you have 2 rested, I think it being a 2k is going to cement it as a must be in the Odyssey decks. The 2k is better than anything, but it does have a pretty useful on-play effect. Oh, not on-play, obviously, but it does have a pretty useful card ability. We'll have to see, though. If it had Rush, I would think it's better. It might be a little too good if it had Rush. If it had Rush, it'd probably be a 5 cost instead. I'd say that would balance that out a little bit. But I can see why it doesn't have Rush. I think it being a 2k, though, is going to cement it. By the way, I'm really showing my game knowledge here. I only started playing in OP05, so I'm mostly doing this and reacting to cards to try to better my game knowledge. So if I'm saying stuff that's just like, dude, what are you talking about? This is obviously going to be good because blah, blah, blah. Just be respectful and just post it in the comments, okay? We all get along here. Next, we have Leem. We're going to be seeing a lot of Liam this set, I think. Green character, 2 cost, 0 power. Blocker, 1k counter. Good, thank God. Blocker, end of your turn. If you have 2 or more Odyssey-type rested characters, set this character as active. So it seems like the Odyssey package is going to focus on flooding board and having them rested. So that also is kind of the combo you want to go for with audio here. Audio? I don't know. And a blocker. I mean, this seems like a pretty good card. 2 cost blockers are always just good to have. I think Liam, spoiler alert, the leader Liam is going to want to have a bit of support and blocks. So I don't think this is going to be a bad idea at all. And setting it as active means, but why would you... End of your turn, if you have 2 or more rested characters, set this as active. Why wouldn't it be active if it has 0 power? You're not stacking this thing with 5 Dawn to swing, surely. Maybe it makes sense with the leader ability. Liam, the leader. We got a new leader here with Liam. She's green-purple, and I might make her a video for her too. I think it's weird though, because this set is like the 4 emperors, and I thought for sure they'd make leaders just for the current 4 emperors and maybe Goldie Roger and give like maybe Whitebeard another leader. I for sure didn't expect Liam to get a leader. It does make me want to play the video game again though, so maybe they're trying to spark interest in Odyssey for some reason. But your characters interplay as rested. That's the weird thing. I guess that kind of makes sense here, so you can unrest it when it comes in and kind of gets rid of that nerf. So you flood characters and then you do things to activate them. So let's see. Activate main once per turn. You may rest 3 of your Dawn. Set up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested. So you ramp. So it costs 3 Dawn to ramp a rested Dawn, okay? Then play a cost 5 or lower Odyssey type character from your hand. It's awkward Iceberg, but she can attack. So it's Iceberg if he could attack and had another nerf on him. So I think the play here would be, you definitely want low-cost things to flood the board. You want rested characters so you can activate like Liam cards like this on play. I guess that kind of helps to play characters that are already rested, and maybe a lot of the Odyssey package is going to get buffed when you have rested characters. So it's just by playing other characters that get buffed because they come out rested. And the Dawn ramp is always a good idea. So as soon as you hit like turn 2 on your first turn, or turn 2 in general, you can start ramping Dawn like crazy. I just see this thing getting steamrolled by like aggro decks though. It's gonna have, I feel like this is gonna have to be a very defensive deck. 4 life will get burned through fast by like Uta, Zoro, anything, Dragon. I feel like it's really gonna need some defense. Now I may be thinking about this all wrong, but this seems like a really hard to play leader too. I'm probably gonna look into her. I like Liam. I like her design. So I also do like when characters get leaders. And you're like, oh, I didn't think they'd get a leader, like Bello Betty. Like I think that's really cool. So I'm definitely interested in it for that reason alone. Then we go up. Let's go ahead and move on so I don't waste time. I will make a whole video for Liam. I'll kind of do a little bit more research, and for Blackbeard too. I'll do a little bit more research and make sure that I understand them. I would like to do videos for every leader that gets announced, just to like discuss and theory craft. So, and I also want to do a video for every OP07 leader after the Western servers get updated on the sim. Edward Newgate, red character, starter deck 15. So this is coming out with a starter deck. I don't know who the leader is for that. I don't know. SR, 7 cost, 8,000 power, 4 emperors, blah, blah, blah. On play, give your leader or up to one of your characters 1 rested Dawn, so it moves a Dawn over to something to buff up. I think that's interesting. It costs 7, so maybe it's good to give it to something else like that gets an ability off of having a rested Dawn. I don't know. Activate main, you may rest this character, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5,000 power or less. There's a lot of power reduction stuff going on in the meta right now. I think this would be pretty cool with, I don't know. I haven't really seen anybody make, pull off any power reduction stuff outside of Red Purple Law, but I do think it becomes a pretty big part of the meta in OP08 and OP07. So I'm interested to see how that works. especially with this KOing 5k, and you do it on activate main. You rest the character, but it's a guaranteed. And then if you don't need to do that, you have 8k to swing face. So this will be pretty good in Marco. Marco, I think, will benefit probably a lot from power reduction and KOs like that. Marco, by the way, I'm going to be playing a lot of when he comes out. I'm very excited about Marco. So we'll just have to see what happens there. This probably is a Marco staple from here on. It doesn't have any counter, but with boss bodies, rarely have counter, so that's not really that big of a deal. Uta, green character, 4 cost, 6,000 power, film. Gonna do 4 cost blocker Uta. Okay, activate main once per turn. You may trash 1 film type card from your hand. I already don't like this. Give your leader or up to one of your characters 1 Rested Dawn. I don't think I will ever be playing this in my Uta deck. I like my blockers to be cheap in cost, with the exception of Luffy that plays 2 other characters out off rip. Maybe maybe other people are seeing the light, but the way I play Uta, I really would not want to do this. I see no reason I would ever want to give. I mean, you could do it to give Kid a Dawn, but at that point, it's like, if you have a Kid out, just throw a Dawn on him and swing. That's 9k. That's good. Or you can do 8k and then do this, and I don't know. But then you're milling cards and film, which I don't feel like is something you really want to do, because there's not a lot of film cards, because even if you're not going to play them, you're going to counter with them or play them as blockers. I don't think this is a good card. Maybe there's a new way to play film that's coming out, but I would not play this. And now if someone else sees the light and wants to shed light on it, let me know, but I don't like that. Trafalgar Law, blue character, 4 cost, 5,000 power, 7 warlords, blah. Okay, on play, so it's 7 warlords, so this is a Dofi. You may return one of your characters to your owner hand, so one of your characters. If your leader has 7 warlords of the sea type, return up to 1 cost 4 to its owner's hand. So it gets a 4 cost off the field, but it also, you could return a Perona to your hand. That's interesting. I think the only thing that will make this work in Dofi, though, is just having room for it. Because there's a lot of like 4 cost meta stuff going on in like red purple like right now, but I don't know in OP09 if it's gonna be like that, or starter deck 17. This might be coming out with the new Dofi starter deck, so it makes sense that it would be with Dofi, right? It's interesting. I think it would work good in Dofi. It just depends if there's room for it. Katakuri, 5 cost, 6,000 power, 1k counter, blocker. Activate main once per turn. You may turn the top card of your life face up. Give your leader or up to one of your characters 1 Rested Dawn. There's a lot of Rested Dawn manipulation here. I think it being a blocker with 1k counter is good, especially a 5 cost 6k blocker. But isn't having face up life cards kind of a awkward thing to do in yellow right now? Because a lot of the times that you do turn them face up, it kind of like with pudding, you turn them face up and then you get to ramp a Dawn, but then you can't do it again because they're face up. Like black, yellow, Luffy, you play 2 things face up and then you pull them off. Red, yellow, blue, yellow, ace, they're face up, they get trashed. I feel like that's a pretty, you'd have to run cards that turn them face down again, I think. Or you run things like Hiyori. It's interesting. I think it being a blocker is the better thing about it. I don't think people are going to run this. It's also a starter deck card, so that's probably why. Starter deck 19, black character, Hina, Dawn times 1. During opponent's turn, this character has +4 cost. A lot of cost addition coming. I'm interested to see what happens with that in black. Activate main once per turn. You may place 1 card from your trash at the bottom of your deck. Give your leader up to one of your characters 1 Rested Dawn. Again with the Rested Dawn. What's going on with that? Man, a lot of cards are having that. I'm not sure. I don't know what is going on with the plus Dawn thing right now. I want to see how that plays into things. Maybe it's just extra buffer against black. I don't know. We'll have to see, though. Zorojuro, purple character, starter deck 18. On play, look at top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 purple straw hat type card, and then put it in your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it's a searcher that does 6k, costs 4. That's interesting. I mean, it's a starter deck. I don't need to know the leader that comes with this. I don't know. This is interesting. I mean, I think it's a good card. I mean, whatever this plays with, you'll play it for sure. 6k, and then after you search, it's a body that can actually swing. So really well too. 6K is not a pretty good number. One Dawn, that's 7K. I mean, maybe it's a Dawn that you could get from any of these. I don't know. It's like all these other cards that are milling. And then we ended up at Sanji. So this is the last card that we saw. We did a video on. So this will be where we stop. If you want to see me talk about Sanji, click the video that I'll recommend in the end of this one for it. But yeah, so next time we will stop when we get to Blackbeard. But those are some of the new cards. I'm going to start doing this weekly, but probably every Monday. I have no idea. And then we'll just get into learning about some of these new leaders. I think Blackbeard and Leem seems fun. Blackbeard seems like he's going to end up being necessary. So we'll just have to see. This music is kind of jamming. Golly, I almost said chat. I'm not streaming right now. Anyway, what do you think? Was I wrong about any of this? Are you screaming at your monitor because I don't know what I'm talking about? Were you, whatever, let me know. I don't know. If I don't know what I'm talking about, the more I learn, the better I get at this. Again, subscribe, like the video, do all that. I'm calling you guys out. Check my gaming channel out in the description. We're playing Elden Ring. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, make sure you do that. Daily content, trying to do better about that. I'll talk to you guys later. See you tomorrow. Peace out.